Types of businesses in the economy. These are all legal types of businesses in the economy environment today. A sole proprietorship is a small business owned by only one person. Partnerships are agreements between two people and no more than 20. They are usually formed when parties trust each other. Each party must bring something to the business. The New Companies Act does not allow for closed corporations to be registered anymore. However, those that are in business may still exist. A closed corporation has members, but not shareholders or directors. Members must contribute money, skills, and expertise. Private companies are usually associated with large organizations. Memberships are limited to 50 people. It is Private Limited Pty Ltd added to its name. And public companies are generally only Ltd companies with more than 7 shareholders. NPOs are non-profit organizations. Before we get on to business ethics, let's first find out what is an ethic. This is a name that's very often used in business today. However, we need to make sure that we understand the exact meaning of the word ethics. Ethics is a set of moral principles, especially ones relating to or affirming a specified group, field, or form of conduct. These are sets of moral principles and values that we as humans each live by every day. Beliefs that we set for ourselves to behave and conduct ourselves daily. Honesty, integrity, trust, respect, collaboration. How often do you actually go against your personal values? I want you to think about that. Organizational ethics, on the other hand, is related to the way in which we behave and conduct business every day. It is governed and built under the Constitution in terms of equality, human dignity, freedom and security, privacy, freedom of religion, belief, opinion. Now, there are various laws and acts that govern the way organizations need to perform and or behave in various situations, and these are all linked to the Constitution. However, we can distinguish between the various ones that are separate. For instance, we previously learnt about the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, which is written under the Constitution and that which the organization complies by when governing employees. Codes of ethics, which you probably would have received during your induction with the organization, is set out what behavior is acceptable in business. Today, most companies need to conduct business honestly in their business dealings with society. They must obey and commit to their legal obligations, and they must operate responsibly toward the environment. Some unethical business practices include the taking and or giving of bribes for any reason, industrial espionage, where we leak information to competitors for monetary compensation, amending financial documents to reflect lesser and or more amounts for personal gain, misleading or invalid claims of products, advertising fraud, promote employees for favors, gifts and or nepotism, conflicts of interests, work in the same industry as your organization without the proper consent, misuse of company equipment and assets. Also, another one that's very common today is the taking of time, coming in late for work, leaving early and not working back the specific time or working back our minimum hours as required by the Act, which is fraud. Good work ethics is loyalty to the organization and its customers, quality management, be on time, waiver acceptance of bribes and gifts, honesty, avoid favoritism, discrimination of any form, don't take part in fraudulent activities, and don't use company assets for personal gain. Poor work ethics has a lot of disadvantages for yourself as well as the organization. It loses trust and leads to the break of relationships. There's limited communication, lack of self-esteem, commitment and loyalty, Ever felt those days when you've gone home and you've sat down and you felt completely drained and you have no idea why you're feeling drained? Think about what happened during the day if you maybe did something that was against your own personal moral belief. Maybe you had to act dishonest for the organization, tell somebody wasn't in the office when they actually were in the office. Small things like that is things that can lead to lack of self-esteem and poor work ethics. Image of the organization is damaged, and it may lead to disciplinary procedures and loss of jobs. Organizations can be fined for certain types of misconduct. When posed with a decision, the following process will assist in making sure the decision is just. So let's have a look. First, we define the problem. Then we collect all the facts. Then we evaluate the facts, determine possible solutions, and evaluate the solutions. Now, between evaluating the facts, determining the possible solutions, and evaluating those solutions, we need to ask ourselves a couple of questions, and these questions can be endless. A couple of examples are: what are possible solutions? What will the outcomes be for each solution? Do they meet with plausible solutions? Which one is best to meet the organizational needs? How long will each take? Will other problems occur from the solutions identified? And consider the elements that affect the solution. Once you've made your decision, implement the solution. Monitor the implementation. During the evaluation, consider what needs to be monitored during the implementation and how it will be monitored. Also, never make decisions by yourself. Always consult, have brainstorming sessions, sit together, have a whole lot of heads, and let each one give their opinion. Never make decisions alone, as mentioned. Always use brainstorming sessions and/or team sessions. Consider past happenings. Make sure that everyone is happy with the decision and that all concerned is informed. And that's a wrap for topic 6, business solutions, and essentially the end of your qualifications documentation or learning guides. Let's take a look at the main ideas. There are different types of companies that can be registered and established. Organizational ethics are linked to a constitution. Good work ethics promote positive attitudes and keep a good organizational image. Poor ethics lead to feelings of failure, self-esteem, broken relationships, and damage to images, etc. Decision-making involves a problem-solving process in order to establish various elements of the problem to find possible solutions. I wish you all the luck, and I'm sure you're going to be the best administrators out there. Remember, it's all about self. Focus on self and the organizational's needs, and do your best at what you do. Make sure that you conduct business ethically every single day, and you'll never have a problem. All right, go out there and be the best that you can be.